Hey everybody, Swab here. I don't have a 3D printer, but there are so many amazing models and STLs that are out nowadays, and I have a friend who printed a couple things for me, but I don't want to bother them all the time. And the library has a printer, but it's hard to get access to, and let's be honest, it's not the greatest quality. Recently, I was looking for something, or actually, something came through a Discord channel I'm on part of that showed a textured roller that I really wanted. And of course, I followed the link and found out that, I could print it at onlygames.co, which is a subsidiary of My Mini Factory, right? And if you know My Mini Factory, they do STLs and people sell their STLs through them. And onlygames.co sells you the physical prints. And I was debating, do I really want to try it out? Looked on the internet, and I didn't find many positive things about onlygames.co. I found one YouTube video, and now my brain slips onto who did that. But it's a wargamer that I quite enjoy the videos of. I'll put the name of it up there. And they looked at some prints, and I was impressed with what they had. But at the same time, those are sent to them to review, and of course, they're going to send the best quality prints that they can send to them, right? So I thought, all right, well, I'm going to take a gamble, and I'm going to order some stuff. And fortunately, the summer sale was going on, so there was a discount. So I ordered more stuff than I needed, obviously, like I always do, right? And so I've already gone through the boxes to see what I have, and but I haven't opened all the blisters or anything like that. I did a quick little inventory, and so this is kind of what I pick up. I ordered these. I'll put the exact dates on how long it took, because I saw a lot of people comment about how long it took them to do stuff. I feel, well, I'll put the exact dates up on the screen, but less than a week after ordering, I think they'd shipped, and then they came across the pond, across the ocean internationally for, in a couple, maybe a week-ish. So not a bad turnaround. You're not going to be like tomorrow, but that's fine. I wasn't expecting that, right? They're print to order. And I wanted to order a bunch of stuff. So first I got the actual thing I ordered, and I thought maybe I should show this off, because maybe other people are trying to look and see, what is the quality of this stuff like? What is the shipping speeds? Because a lot of the comments are a little bit older, and this is of course just my personal experience. I have no connection to these people at all. I just want to show off some minis and look at them together and have a chance to talk about stuff. So here's the box. I'm going to kind of move out of the way, and I'm going to go through them all one step at a time. Okay, so first up is the thing I actually found, bite the billet on. Just the reason why I jumped into this. So this here is the texture roller I wanted, and it is a stone face-based roller. It's made of PLA, and this was designed by a custom miniature maker. Looking at it up close, it looks okay in terms of the face design. I'll cut me rolling this on something like some Model Magic, or maybe I'll get really lazy and just roll it on some Play-Doh just to see what the actual print of it comes out. But I'll say that it looks good. It's got a hole straight through it. That's hard to see there. So you can put a side piece of dowel through this and roll it along. It was a pretty reasonable price, I feel like. So it weighs almost nothing. And for it being PLA, I'm used to older PLA printers, and like this, I can't believe this is PLA, to be honest. I'm very impressed with this. It's a sturdy piece. So this is the piece I really wanted to get. That'll be fun to make some bases with some of these faces as a stonework. Alright. Now, almost every other miniature is actually from Bite the Bullet Studios, and that is simply because when I went on their website, I found one of their pieces and I liked the style, and then I started buying a whole pile of their stuff. I think one piece is from Archvillain Games, and the rest is all Bite the Bullet Studios. So you can also view this as a Bite the Bullet Studios kind of look at. So everything comes in these blisters like this individually, except I have one pack where I have two models in one. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. And it's all packed in here nicely, so it seems like it's packed really, really well. This here is probably Goblin Pyro. Looks like Goblin Pyro. And size-wise, he's maybe a little big for a goblin, right? More like 32 millimeter scale compared to like 28 millimeters. If playing D&D, 28 millimeters would be a little big. Maybe I will cut to some pictures of me showing you guys the sizes. But taking a look at it, I don't really see a whole lot to actually clean up. There's not many nubs. You can see like there's some here. Let's see if I can get that tighter. Yeah, you can see a couple of them, right? Underneath the bottom, there's some shine where maybe the curing and cleaning didn't go as well, but generally, this guy looks pretty good. And then, of course, the base. I quite like this base. Very nice looking base design. Got a little potion there, a little explosive there. Yeah, quite like that. I'm not gonna, these did cost me money. I don't want to break any, but it has some wiggle to it, so it's not going to break immediately, so it has some movement to it. So I wouldn't be too worried about putting this guy on the table. You know, the 1 foot pose, maybe not the best for sturdiness, but I could maybe put him up on, like he's like standing on the log, or whatever. No, not around this way, around this way. But yeah, quite like that one. Alright, this is Gabby the Goblinoid Queen, it looks like. And quickly look at the base. Nice textured base. This will be fun to paint. These things, bendable. If I bent it much more now, I feel like it would snap. But I don't think that's a big worry. So nice and solid. And of course, here is the miniature. Again, not too much to clean up. There's a lot more shine than there actually is because I have my a light on here just because of this room. The light's a little too orangey. So I'm just kind of making everything look a little washed out. Again, cleanup's not bad. You can see some dimples on the back of the leg here. And on the middle of that cloak from the supports. But, like, pretty clean. Nothing I really have to clean up myself. Weapon-wise, not bad. I feel like, you know, it's resin. But this would probably go on a table. I wouldn't be too worried about it. So, yeah. Size-wise, again, this would fit in with any D&D thing in terms of scale, I think. Okay, this is a Hyena. It came along with a Druid, I think, but I just bought the Hyena just because I thought it would be, had a lot of personality. I thought it'd be fun to paint. Very, very large. I put away all the characters as I'm taking them out, but this comes, well, let's see if we can show. Right, quite tall. So, big beast. And super flexy. I wouldn't be worried about this breaking. This would be easy to put on the table. What I'm impressed with is like how clean everything is. There's really not much cleanup to do. I'm also impressed with the packing. There's some bones there. Little snacks. Nothing arrived broken. This guy, I don't know if I should buy him simply because I only bought one, because I only really thought it was cool enough to buy one. I want to paint this 3 times. This is a Fallen Imp, again, Bite the Bullet Studios. I don't know when I'd ever actually use this in a D&D game, so I think it's more about painting it. Again, it's pretty clean. It's a nice size for D&D. Nice and crisp. Nice flexible. This one, the base is kind of interesting in that the flagstones kind of come off the base in 3 spots. So you're either going to love that or you're going to hate that. You can just trim that down or whatever if you don't like that. I actually don't know if I like it. I also don't know if this base fits an imp. So I might need to rebase this guy on something different and keep this base somewhere else. But nice pieces. Alright, this is a yokai. There's 3 in the pack. They seemed expensive to get all 3. I didn't like the price, but this one I really liked, and so I just bought this individual guy. And this is the Hitsume Kozo. And I really like this yokai. Now, I thought this is supposed to come with a base. This is the only one that does not come with a base, but it's featured with a base. I'm going to reach out and just find out what is supposed to come with a base. Not that I'm going to make them ship me one base. Okay, I'm just going to readjust my camera here, get some better lighting. So yeah, so okay, he should come with a base, I would have thought, but he didn't, so I'm going to reach out. Again, this one needs a bit more cleanup if I'm going to really care. You can see a couple spots. See a couple spots where you need a bit more cleanup. But at the same time, it's all spots that don't really matter. And maybe the bottom of this belt, you know, and through here, a bit of cleanup, but I wouldn't expect that to be cleaned up, honestly. And I love this tongue. But detail-wise, nice and crisp, everything came out nicely. Sculpt's hilariously fun. I don't know what I'll use it for, but I couldn't resist. I have a bunch of lanterns, yokai lanterns from Shadows of Brimstone Forbidden Fortress, and I feel like if I were running this in like a D&D thing, I'd probably use those and go along with this guy. So, quite great. Very, very tall. If you're going to run this in D&D, it would be taller than most of your characters. So he's a big dude. Alrighty, up next is, this is that 2-pack one, and this is the only one that comes with the Archvillain games little sleeve, so I don't know if they have a different deal with them, or whatever. This is not an Archvillain piece. Alright. So, this one here, this is by Kobold Studios. This is a pirate trader? Pirate dealer. This guy, a little bits of cleanup needed for him, I feel. At the same time, depending on the paint job you're going to do, but like, it's me, you can tell they're cleaning it up a little bit. If they ever hit. They didn't decide that well. There's a nub there on his sleeve. Still got some cleanup to do. But personality on this, like by the Bullet Studios, I really am impressed with their work. And then this is the base that came with it. Some nice colons. They're sitting a little deep. And he'll just kind of stand on that. So this is a great piece. And size-wise, decent, maybe 22, 32 millimeters, 28, 32 millimeter scale, somewhere in there, and I think he'd fit in fine with whatever you got. And this is the only Archvillain games one I got, and this is a Aky Kraken Acolyte. I only just picked up the one, but the detail on him is quite impressive. The design is great. This feels more like, almost like true 28 millimeter. Maybe slightly big. But what a great sculpt. This will be a fun one to paint. And the base is this great piratey kind of base. I love this base. I wish the bases were cheaper on onlygames.co, because the bases are great, but they charge like $3 or $4 per base. But then you got a whole model with a base for like 4 to 6, depending on the company. This does look a little thin, but it seems fine. I think putting this on the table would be no problem at all. This is a fun one. Okay, this is Selena the Puppet Master. Comes with her base, comes herself, and comes with 2 cute little demon-y, dragon-y creatures. Everything about this print says fine. It's decent quality. I feel like looking at like a Reaper Miniatures level of like print. Nothing looks too... I have trouble focusing the camera here. Nothing looks too soft, but some of the stuff could be a little bit more defined. But then again, you see some other spots on it that are just really well defined. A little bit of cleanup to do. And here's the cute little dragons, and you can see this guy's got a bit of support still stuck underneath him. And great expression on these. The print on this one just seems a smidge softer than some of the others. Here comes a Kobold. This is probably a Kobold Fighter. Oh yeah, definitely a Kobold Fighter. Okay. So, again, a bit taller and bigger than I'd imagine usually a kobold being. It definitely isn't going to fit in with the kobolds from Wars Kids. Okay, so the official models it's not going to fit in with. But I like the design. It's a unique take on a kobold, or at least I like this take on a kobold. Everything showing up nicely. Little bits of cleanup, but I said that for basically every model, but really the cleanup's really not bad. Texture, the scales on the head are good. Nothing that's thick enough that's sturdy, like I have no worries about players using this one. Unlike the Archvillain game one, the Kraken, it's that really thin piece. This is my sturdy axe. This base, 28mm size base, so you wouldn't be playing this as a small. If that matters, you'd have to rebase it. But again, this figure's so big, I wouldn't want to do that. So, yeah. I just love the design of a lot of their stuff. These teeth are great. I'm excited to paint these guys. These are going on the paint desk pretty soon. This is a goblin, and I don't know what goblin this is, to be honest. Can't remember which goblin this is. Not the Goblin Rogue. Maybe the Goblin Thief? Has that great face. It almost like that Pathfinder goblin look to him. Again, full-size base. 20mm base. And he's a little bit big if you want to call it small. And I like this one because he's wearing this funny dragon cloak, like he's trying to blend in or look like a kobold maybe. There's little stitches there holding the middle of the mask together. I think this is a fun one. Definitely has a personality, which always makes it fun to play with, right? Nice textured base. I really love these bases. Got a little bit of an inset so you could fit a magnet in there. Don't know if you could fit 2mm magnet in there. Maybe you could. Maybe. Alright, another nice base. And this guy is hilarious. This is a Kobold Rogue. And I think I have a Christmas version of this one too. Again, this is Bite the Bullet Studios, like almost everything here. It's that great face. He's got his tongue out as he's running. Got a bunch of little bags of loot. Got his dagger there. I always pictured the kobold that I play as more dragon-like, like the new 5th edition kind of design of kobolds, but I could be easily start to go towards this more shark-like design. And this base looks great. It's got a nice deep peg. So, drop some super glue in there. Try to fit that in. And I think he'll hold up well. I love this action pose. I could see this being part of like a heist. But this makes me want to create a little story for this guy. So generally, I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty impressed with these prints. Like, there's a lot of negativity online. I expected it to be bad. And then when I watched Guerrilla Wargaming, that's who did it. Guerrilla Wargaming seemed good, and so thought I would take a gamble, and I'm glad I did. Alright, this guy's also hilarious. This is a Goblin Rogue? Goblin Rogue, yeah. And here they got this great hat on him. He's got a little buddy frog sitting on his hat. Weapons are nice and thick. I don't think I'd worry about anything breaking. It fell off the table, it might survive. Bit of cleanup I'm gonna have to do in there. Oh, there's another frog inside his hat there, peeking out. Oh, man, see, way to go by the Bullet Studios. I never heard of you before. Found you on onlygames.co. I love your design. And the prices are relatively reasonable, especially compared to some companies. The hard part, of course, is knowing like the cost of the mini because of the size of the mini, because a lot of the actual minis is very little info on most of the websites, most of the pages about like the size of the miniature, which is really infuriating. I don't know if that's an Only Games issue or if that is the company that makes them. But knowing what size you're getting would be great. This is a Goblin Archer, and I love this toadstools. I want to paint those. This Goblin Archer, he's got that great Pathfindery goblin face. I love it. His arm looks a little odd. The way he's holding the bow in front of him. Did not notice that in the render. Don't know if I love that arm. But the face draws you away from it. This is some stuff to clean, a little support strap left. In the quiver, there's some little bits to clean. Some of the arrows there. Yeah, but generally look pretty good. Just this bend here looks awkward. I love that face. And love this base. Getting down to the end. This is a Goblin Artificer, maybe? We're gonna call it that. A bomb on his back. It's already pre-lit. Very Games Workshop-y feeling. Got the goggles on. Again, lots of personality. There's a story to this miniature, which makes you just want to tell stories about it. You know, it's just a villain, bad guy for your party to fight. You know there's something there, right? You can kind of create something around it. There's a bunch of stacks of other weaponry on this base. Really clever. That's kind of stiff. I can't see that breaking. Honestly, if it did break, that'd be fine. I'd just file it off. Paint it black. And the final one, and nothing. I should have saved like an exciting one for the end or something. But I just kind of blend on the box as we go. What are we left with? The Goblin Pyro, our final model of the day. Here's the Goblin Pyro. Really interesting base. Has like some shells, some waters. Ooh, part of us. Come on, focus. Part of a skull. Oh, that's not a shell. That is a rib cage. Nice base. These little wisps, fine. Here's our little dude again. Great base. Little pouch in the front. All that design looks good. I could probably get most of that to paint easily. Bomb strap to the back. This giant curl of smoke. This is only attached here. It is very thick. I do mildly worry about that. But it was nice. So yeah, so there we go. Final thoughts on these guys is that I would buy from these guys again. The shipping time, print time, seemed good. Nothing came broken. Everything seems accounted for. Maybe there's a base missing. I'm going to reach out and find out. Even just so they know in the future, like they got to print the base. Who knows how those files are set up. And they all look a joy to paint. So generally, great job. So great job, onlygeekgames.co. I just happily leave with your product. I think the pricing on these ones are reasonable. It really comes down to individual models, but again, don't know if that's because of size, amount of resin, the deal they have with the company that did the STL, that did the actual model file. I don't know. And Bite the Bullet Studios, I will say, like, I really like their design work. Like, almost everything makes me happy. And I think I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into their catalog and see what else we might get for the future once I need more things to paint. I'll never finish painting everything I have, but I can imagine that I'll need more someday and just pretend. There you have it. This, at least if you are looking at buying from them and you're curious about them, there's at least one more data point you can look at. This is my own personal experience. Who knows what yours might be or other people's have been in the past. This doesn't invalidate anybody's opinion from the past. This does not change anybody's opinion of things in the future. But this is my experience that I had. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, and we will talk again soon.